Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. So it's approaching 11:30. Okay. Discount codes, by the way. Before we start, there's a 15% off voucher code, Kingscrusher, so you can challenge the likes of World Chess Champion Magnus Carlsen, other amazing Grandmasters, IMs, etc. So you just turn up 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, send your challenge off, and it goes on to our list of challenges. Okay. Let's go to the challenges today and pick off the first challenge. Jetzel. Hi there. Okay. C4, I think. From what I remember, Jetzel plays Tarrasch stuff, which worries me a bit. I think I'll take here and try and get a solid position. Just E3, yeah. Okay. Can I get this bishop to move again with D takes C5? If I play D takes, I want to play A3 and B4. Get a blockade on the dark squares. That's quite an early D4 from black. Okay. Is there queen? Can I play queen F3? Bishop G4, queen G3. I'm hoping this is plausible. I want to play rook AD1. Actually, rook AD1, there's bishop G4. Got to be careful. So, I don't know. Now, rook AC1 is necessary. There's, yeah, significant piece pressure from my opponents here. How to parry that? But I can't play rook D1. I think this bishop needs to be tucked away. I assume it's a target on D3 tactically. Okay, let's try and think. Bishop's tucked away from tactics like queen D3 potentially. King H1 would afford me F3, unpinning that pawn, which would afford me rook D1, pinning that bishop. I think this is a plan. King H1. Alright, here there's knight D5 tactically for bishop D4. I think it looks like a tactical slip up. If rook C1, knight takes E7 is check. So if knight takes D5, bishop D4, it looks like a tactical slip up, but isn't there queen E1 check? Just mating. Okay. If I played H3 first to give my king some air, that might help though. It might actually improve on knight D5 without completely losing everything. So bishop D4, rook C1, queen E1. Not mating, I hope. In fact, on any rook c1, there's queen g7 mate. I'm miscalculating that. 95 bishop d4. I'm threatening mate on g7. No time for rook c1 anyway. Right. And what if bishop a2 here? Bishop a2 looks like a move to keep the bishop pair going, if I want. I think with the bishop on d4, it looks as though I might want to play h4, h5. Or bishop c5. Maybe bishop c5 for a moment. h4, if the h-pawn moves, there's queen g6 here. That pawn's pinned. Knight h5 could be annoying on h4. Hitting my bishop. Yeah. There's bishop c4 if I want to gain a tempo. I think I do. Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. So rook d1, b6, that thing's loose, isn't it? Right, I don't want to lose too much time on the clock. If I go for... I'm a bit stuck actually, I don't know. Bishop e3. There's knight e4. Okay. Okay, rook d1 for rook d5. No, I think these are liabilities. Let's just try and peg these bishops in better. These bishops like this seem a bit loose. I don't want to lose on time either. Thinking too much here. The bishop pair, is it just a theoretical advantage here? Okay, queen f4 for a moment. Okay, I've got some pressure on f7 to bear in mind. Oh, in fact, bishop f7, rook c8, queen e4 wins a pawn. It did win a pawn, doesn't now. And, okay, rook f6 is also now threatened. Okay, bishop d4 to cover rook f6. Mind you, you just double rooks now. Against c4. I can play... this is all a bit tricky. Do I go back to b2 or something? b5, okay. Bishop e5, nope. Bishop a1. Bishop a1. There's knight d2. This is very annoying. Ugh. Can I get the queens off with queen g4? Okay, rook f6, queen g4. Can I just get the queens off? try and do something over here. These pawns. I suppose he wants to hit that pawn. Can I blunt this bishop a little bit? Yeah, undouble the pawns, get my king up. I'll try and get some sort of attack. Stop f4 for a start. Okay, yeah, it was a very tough game. Jetzel has been a very, very dangerous opponent. Often getting very, very good positions. And that's no exception. And talking of another very, very dangerous opponent. Try a quick. I was going to try a quick e5 old Indian style. Not King's Indian. And if I played, okay, so rook e8. What about b6 and knight c5? Is that an idea? b6 and knight c5. It's got some similarity though to some sort of Sicilian defense, maybe. Okay. If I took that, or e4, maybe e4. Can I play f5? I know that pawn's weak. I think I can play rook a7 to g7 later as well. This a7 square could be good. Or to e7. Oh, okay, I'm just losing a pawn there. Can I just try and undermine this lot? Hang on, what was wrong with queen b4 for looking at a2? I think I need to build some pressure here. Rook b8, queen b4. Build some pressure. How's knight b5? That's annoying, to say the least. I don't think I can stand that knight. Okay. I think I want to play for bishop d4 and e3, potentially. Oh, right, okay. And it looks like I'm being crushed here on this side. Oh, bishop c5 is also interesting. Yeah, maybe e3 on bishop c5. Okay. Stop a6 for a moment. Queen b6. I could take that. I don't know if... What was that mistake? I don't know. Rook h4. Try and do something with this h file before it's too late. Can I do rook e7 over here? Or king g7, that's c6, okay. Is it worth playing e3 to try and get this pawn pinned? Bishop e5, e3. No, you just take on e3. Okay, this d6 is going to happen, but king g7 and there's queen c3. Okay, it's all very dangerous. Hang on, isn't there queen h7 on bishop c5? I need every tempo is pretty important. Queen h7 gives me some hope. Surely queen h5, which gives queen f3, queen g4. Ah, no, okay. I don't know. E3. E3. Oh. I think I should have. I missed. I should have just taken the rook. I should have just taken the rook. When I had the chance. That rook shouldn't be on the board. It should not be on the board. I've messed this up. I think if there was something to mess up. That's bishop d4. Oh, I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, I wonder earlier, just out of interest, if I just take the rook, simple, like to take the rook, was I back in the game or not? I don't know if the pass pawns are winning. even if I took that rook. I don't know why I didn't just take the rook. No. Okay, that was interesting. Not taking the rook. Okay. It was. I probably shouldn't have had that position anyway. But okay. Always blame the mouse. Castle queenside here. And is there stuff going on here? Or is it too slow? If I ever play bishop c2 and he's got rook c8 and knight d4, if I play it like this, have I got knight e5? Is this playing with danger? Knight e5, my king over there. I thought he would have had queen a5, potentially as a tempo gain. Here it's maybe not so clear. There's bishop e2. Alright, so this a2 could drop off. So knight f3. If bishop a2, e5, opens up this bishop anyway. But again, my king's not that brilliant as well. Is there f5 coming up? Well, there's queen c4 as well. Right, c4 maybe. b3 just to close, try and close things. Keep things closed. So f5 here. Is that knight d7 and bishop e7 if bishop d7? Well, I'm going to try this. Maybe queen e7 is even better. There's no queen f4 check. I'm looking at that d7 knight. Is that like okay? Yeah, that's a bad tactic. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. Friedel. Hi there. Will I be fried by Friedel today? Okay. Or Friedel. Okay. Why knight c6? We could play Sicilian defense stuff. whatever. We had a Sicilian defence last week. So is Friday all around? 1 second. Okay. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. 4 seconds. 5 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I better abort this actually, just to get the games going. Another time. Alright, I've always had difficult openings, I think, with black against Atlantic Gaming. I think I need to do something different. Or have I had a reasonable knight c6? French defense. Knight c6. I should be able to play c5. This line... Oh. Okay. If I take immediately before white sets up the pawn chain, f5 might be more cautious to encourage ef as well, because f6, I'm sure he's just going to love that position. At least there's a tempo gain there. Can I do this for knight f7, which would put pawn g7? The double pawns I'm not bothered about, but knight f7 I think is nifty in some cases. Sometimes g6, h6, that sort of stuff. Not h6, maybe rook g8. Why am I playing g6 necessarily? What's the point of that? Oh, maybe bishop g7 is the point of that. Okay, I'm trying to find a perk of it after playing it. It's better to find it before playing it. But bishop g7 is a perk of playing g6. Okay. So there's pressure on e5. Not significant yet. I can hold on to d4 to be annoying for a moment. I'm wondering bishop d7, rook ac8, and knight b4. It's h5, right. Maybe I should just take that. There's no bishop h6, so I want to play a4. Just the decent. Oh. Right, knight. Okay, hang on. Knight takes d4 in that case. Right, do I just connect the rooks for a moment? Wait for this to take. Maybe king h8, rook g8. As long as my knight's on h6, maybe I can use this g-file. So king h8 and rook g8. King h8, rook g8. Or is that too much? Knight e7 to g6. Is that worth? No, queen d8. Knight h6 to g4. Bishop e8. Hang on, bishop e8 might be interesting. For knight h6 to g4. If I have a knight on g4. Hang on. Queen takes, there's knight takes e5. Hitting the queen. And then there'll be knight f3 check. So, okay, queen takes h4. Oh. Okay, knight takes here, and then bishop g6. I have an idea if the pressure's off d4, I was looking at this earlier, but it was losing just d4. But if I take on d3, then there's queen b3. So in other words, this is a big threat, isn't it now? Knight b4 for knight d3. If rook d1, rook c8, then c2 is under fire. If rook, what does he do about c2 here? If rook d2, knight d3. If cd, there's queen b3. If rook d3, there's rook c2. If bishop b5, I think this is going to be winning a pawn. Or is it? Hang on, it's not so clear, is it? Okay, not so clear at all to win that pawn for that d4. Okay. Fair enough. Can I put some pressure on this? Mind you, I'm encouraging bishop e3. I wonder if bishop e3, maybe is queen a6 awkward? It's knight b5. Yeah. This knight d6 is going to be a pain. If I played d4 for queen c6 check, I'll play d4. Some sort of counter-attack with queen c6 check. Okay, maybe not then. If I take on a4 for a moment, I'll take on a4. Can I offer the exchange of queens? Queen d8. Right. Knight d6, rook b4. Okay, there's a tactic here with bishop c6, potentially. Sure he'll spot it. Maybe he won't. Rook and bishop c6. Okay, right, this is getting awkward, isn't it? Okay. Bishop c6 here might be stronger than anything else, I think. Just to try and get rook b1, rook h1 for a start. Yeah, can I do that? Or have I've just lost the piece, have I? Yep. I think I have. Oh well. Oh, there's that one as well. Isn't there a possibility of bishop d5? I was looking at another check, but okay, it's chaos at the moment, but there's rook b2 if I want to try and get a piece back. The question is, would I actually be mated or not? Okay, I'll leave that for another moment, that question. Because this rook can come down for a checkmate on the back row. Hang on, this is hanging though. Yeah, no, I think there was a way of winning a piece without any subtle, without any controversy. I mean, just around about here. Yeah, just rook c8 check. So there's no bishop f8. Knight d8 check. Or rook takes c6. Yeah, either. I think there's less controversy. This fork, I noticed. Yeah, this. I think the way then it was played, it seems the computer doesn't even like this position for white. I thought there's a way of threatening checkmate. Say rook c7 threatens checkmate. Oh, there's rook h1. There's no time for that. Okay. Well, if there's no time for that, then what was played was logical. Yeah, defending the mate. But this is. Oh, right. There's still bishop f3 as well. Hang on. There's still bishop f3. That's weird, isn't it? What's this about? Oh, there's mating nets. Oh, there's mating nets. Okay, very strange position actually. I thought we're both trying to get to each other's kings there. That's a bit strange. Goggin Paul. Okay. Hi there. Okay, this whatever this is, London system. It's thingy system. It's not a London system with c3, but knight c3, which I've seen before. And I think I've played the opening wrong already. Oh well. Can I play Queen a5 check here? Oh, this might be plausible. Knight c5. Is that knight e4 coming up? Or bishop d7. Bishop d7. Stop bishop u5. Knight e4 here. Try and exploit this bishop's over here and not able to so easily protect c3. Jobova system with knight c3, a sort of variation on London system. I remember his name. Sorry, okay, wondering what the name. Jobova. That's what I think. I was supposed to play a6 in the opening. Actually, not. I suspect not allow that knight b5. However, as it's turned out here, it seems something's gone wrong for white for this pressure here. It seems. I can check it after, but I think I did make a mistake in the opening, allowing that knight b5. Okay, I think I'm going to take on c3 here. Okay. Oh, let's take the queen. Yeah, this is quickly check In this opening, the Jobova system. I remember this being bad. Have I missed? Oh, have I got the wrong position? E4, E3 doesn't. Okay. Somehow. All right. Maybe I should just play Queen A5 immediately. All right. This might be the wrong position. Okay. I think I'm confusing things. Here E3 though. E3 just protecting the knight. So if Queen A5, there'll just be C3. That'll be much better for white. That's nice. The point is, and I have covered this on my channel, that this is a decentralized knight now. That's quite annoying. That knight on B5. Jobova's won from this sort of position quite a bit. So it's important. Okay, just to play E3, I think. Okay. Ralph, hi there. Let's try French. Yeah. I'll try Finchetto. Right. Yeah. The king's still in the centre though. There's a tempo gainer here. Knight F5 involving Knight F5. I'm going to see what it does. Because that king in the centre, I think, is a little bit suspicious. So, like Rook E8, and then, maybe DC and Knight D4. So, say DC here. Would I have Knight D4? Knight D4 looks dangerous. If Knight D4, Bishop C4, there's Knight F3 there. F takes, there's Queen D2. The thing is, do I take with the C pawn? Oh, the C knight on this one. It makes the queen, it's not protected now. If Knight D4, it's not protected. So there's a tactic, Knight F3. Yeah, that was a bit tactically unfortunate. Yeah, I think also it's difficult to calculate these lines because they're sort of, there's a certain hypocrisy with Bishop H6. If your patterns, you wouldn't normally give up the dark square bishop, creating the weaknesses. It's only in that sort of position with the king still in the centre this is advisable, because usually, Knight G5 is a follow-up, say, and it's over for black. So it's only because the king was still just in the centre that that particular position had that particular backfire. But so that's why it makes these things a bit dodgy to calculate in general. I think Kasparov has said you don't give up your Fianchetto bishop in a hurry if you're a King's Indian player, because when you play G6, you are weakening those dark squares. That is the guardian of the dark square galaxy, so to speak. So to give it up lightly, you got to really. It's only for that particular position. Okay. I'll try King's Indian here. Okay, this is pretty solid from white, this setup. If I played Queen E7, the bishop on C1's a little bit passive looking. I do wonder if here ED might be justifiable. I don't usually like this, but I might go for it here. because this backward d pawn, I've lost games with this in over the board. But I'm wondering here if there's enough to be compensating. Maybe bishop e5 and queen h4. Sometimes I find that annoying being played against me, that sort of thing. b4 might be weakening the diagonal. Maybe knight e6. Maybe I don't need a5 necessarily. So f4 is being kind of ruled out at the moment. Queen h4 is probably dangerous. G3, knight g3. Or just knight g3 here is maybe interesting. It's only a knight... for 2 pawns. Maybe it might be unsound. Okay, I might be going into unsound territory. I can see the e5 as a pivot square for the rook. Potentially. So rook e8 or f5 for f4. Can I entrench with f4? Oh, there's also rook d6 on the cards. If I played f takes instead, then there's knight e6 to f4. I think I'll go with that instead. Knight e6 to f4. There is knight f5 there, though. Maybe queen f6. Queen f4 maybe. Queen f4 holds h6 and hits. Okay, so knight g5 here. There's knight h3. That looks dangerous. That looks dangerous, yeah, because knight h3 to f2. If f4... Again, knight h3 taking f4 looks dangerous. Yeah, I think there's certain dangers here. Knight h3 to f2, king g1. Okay, let's try and be more concrete about things. f4. Isn't there bishop h3? If queen h2, there's knight f3. If queen h1, there's maybe not. Queen h1 might refute there. Okay, so f4. Okay, I have to look at f4. It has been played. So bishop h3. So definitely not queen h2 because of knight f3. So bishop h3, queen h1. Queen h1. Isn't there in that position rook f4? Because if knight f4, queen g3, if bishop g2, things get nasty. Yeah, I think this is looking dangerous with the idea of rook f4 and queen g3. There's also this rook's loose on d6 on that diagonal, g3 to d6 diagonal. So queen h1, rook f4. Okay. Queen g3. Looking at this rook. But even worse, bishop g2, there's knight f3, king f1, there's queen f2. Or there's just knight f3 here. Let's checkmate. Yeah, I think... let's see what the engine thought of that. I've had that pattern played against me. Must have been about 20 times in total from IMs and stuff. This getting this attacking plan, but not the knight sack necessarily. For some reason, I thought this is a little bit dangerous. Okay, it's equal there. It's a little bit dangerous in a blitz game. Okay, that might be a mistake. EF. Getting the bishop might be the right way to do that, because D6 weakens C5 immediately. That's what I was looking at there. So getting that pawn on E3 is okay, is nice. Knight F5 might have to be played. If I use up the F2 square, that looks unfortunate. I mean the F4 square. Okay, there's that refuting the whole thing anyway. So that's probably the move, the killer move here, Knight F5. Yeah, I think there was some mistakes that really helped things along here. That was a key mistake. Knight F5 was probably winning, yeah. I didn't believe it was that sound. I thought it might be a bit of fun. The knight sack for 2 pawns. Okay. If it's a longer time control, scalability of the idea is the opponent's going to be much more resourceful in the defense, so you just be a piece down for nothing. You don't really want that in a longer time control. But in a blitz game, you can take more like gambling, more risk. I think that was a bit of a gamble, yeah. Okay, I must admit it. I'm very naughty. Okay, sorry. Oh dear. I couldn't resist the knight sack for 2 pawns to start off with. It was in a blitz game. Somehow that's more compelling in a blitz game. The knight sack for 2 pawns. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So bishop f4 and queen e2. Oh, the problem with bishop f4, there's always a quick, well, not always, sometimes a quick e5 and bishop g4. I did check out the Smith-Morrow book again in recent months, and I think there's a question about playing h3 here to stop this mechanism, which uses the power of forcing moves. So now that e5 and bishop g4 is not possible, just e5, that would just weaken d5. With that bishop g4, it kind of annoys d4 for white quite a lot. But with e5 without bishop g4, okay, pawns don't go backwards. That is a bit of a weakness on d5. Okay, can I in fact give up this? I think I will. I will. The gambit compensation right now is not very convincing at all. Just the idea of having this piece on d5, okay, is an idea. But does it actually have any teeth to it? Does it actually do anything? Can I double, maybe, and then take on e7 and rook d6? So if I doubled the rooks... Okay. I'll try this, given I've got no other plan, it seems, in this position. I'm going to just double the rooks here. Okay. Okay. Rook d3, bishop d5. If bishop d5, knight b4, so I'll take with the rook in that case. Okay. I'm thinking maybe the rook can go to g3 at some point. Is that too weird and wonderful? Maybe a3 to stop this knight b4 business. Okay. Knight b4 business. Yeah, I didn't want bishop d5, knight b4. Knight b4 here. Okay, I've got to tread carefully. I'll put the rook all the way back then. There might be a threat here anyway with knight e5. Alright, I'll try doubling again against d6. Bishop g5, I'll snap that off here. I want to just double the rooks. Can I get to double the rooks? g3 looks necessary. Alright, it looks as though this sort of position, I might have some positional compensation now. Because this knight doesn't immediately have major prospects. It can go into f8 to e6, maybe later. That pin I find interesting. The idea of h4, h5 is also mildly interesting. If knight h4 to f5. If I have rook h1, h4, h5, the knight moves knight h4 to f5. I think that might be starting to be dangerous. I'm going to kick off things with h4. So I do have a plan, finally, I think. So rook h1, h5, the knight moves, knight h4. If the bishop takes rook h4, that might be black's best rather than allow the knight to f5. I'm wondering, why do I need to give that option of taking? I can route like this, knight g4 to e3 to either d5 or f5. I'm gonna route like that, the knight. Mind you, knight e6 to d4. This exchange sack has to be played, doesn't it? My dream position here is to get a knight to f5 and to put more pressure on f7 to keep the bishop hemmed in for a moment. And I believe there would be compensation there. Alright, knight d5 will do. I haven't got a rook left now. I have got a nice knight on d5 though. I think there's still some compensation to look forward to here. Rook f3 to f5 if bishop e5. There's g6 there. And is f4 any good? Okay. Is there a queen over here? Right. And is that e5? Right. And this diagonal looks interesting for bishop c2. Also, there's just simply knight e7 and rook d6. I like that knight on d5 though. It's a shame to waste that knight on d5. Maybe g4, g5. There's g6 sort of trapping my queen though. Maybe just dropping the queen back for a moment. This checked. Oh, the knights. I can just take that. I can just take that maybe. Get the queens off. Yeah, I thought there's it's one area of the Smith-Morrow gamut. The compensation is just a nice piece on d5, it seems, sometimes. Well, for me it is. Premium members only, please, on these challenges. Please become a premium member. Get to play Magnus Carlsen. Friedel. Okay. Is it that time when No, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. It's going to be a London system. No, I can't handle it. I'm going to play E6. Please, no London system. French defence will do. A French defence. Yeah. Much better. Much better. The passivity of the French defence. Now this line, was it old Steinitz? I can play a quick B5. And I think there was a key game, Kasparov against Ivanchuk, I covered on my channel at some point. It was Ivanchuk destroyed Kasparov with the black pieces, believe it or not. I think he did play a quick queenside attack, like this. I'm trying to remember the key strategic details. Did he play something like Bishop A6 and B4? I think he might have inflicted some early structural compromise. So, I don't know. I'll go with this. B4, though, is tempting for white. Let's try and clamp down. Surely. Okay, if I castle, now there is a bit of a structural compromise, isn't there? Does he take on D4 with a pawn or piece? That's interesting. Is it with a pawn or a piece? It's with a piece, okay. And a piece or a pawn? Okay, a piece. It means bishop c5 now, maybe. There is a structural compromise. This backward, this pawn here. Right. That's annoying, yeah. I see. Yes. Isn't that bishop f1? That's an interesting tactical shot. If queen d7, bishop h3, if queen a8, bishop h3 as an exchange sack is kind of mildly interesting. Although after there's no queen a7 there. It is kind of, I don't know actually. Oh, it's weird territory. Oh, okay, let's go for it. I'm just thinking these weakened light squares, all these pawns on dark squares, usually wouldn't bode well. If I took on d4, there's queen b2, trying to hunt the light squares in the position, hunt them down. There's no time for queen b6. I'm going to try and hunt down the light squares. Queen b2, c2 to f5 to g4. Try and get in on the light squares. Threatening mate immediately anyway. Actually, what is that's a quick hunt. Oh no, it's bishop f2. Okay. Right. Queen b5. Queen b5. There's some dangerous for white. Maybe I should keep the queens on. Keep the queens on. This knight is without any prospects. Okay, can I actually give it knight c6 before it's too late? Bishop e4 might be an idea. Why with the loose rook? Queen d2. Why would that move be played? Queen d2 and the loose rook. Queen d2. I will take the rook on this occasion, rather than try and do something mega clever instead and lose. Okay, I'm just going to take the rook. I know it's simple. Okay, thanks. No, I don't expect the engine to like what I did at all. Actually, it does seem. If there's no concrete evidence of this exchange sack, does that mean the exchange sack is bad? It says white's winning. Okay, the key move which it recommends, Queen e2 here. Maybe this is winning for white without too much controversy. Yeah, I think something happened to overextend white here, which wasn't needed. Again, Queen e2 is also, isn't that possible here? Oh, maybe, no, that check, Queen g3, okay. No, Queen, yeah. There's rook e3, okay. No, it's just the one move blunder. It's just the one move blunder. I think Queen e2 here again. Queen e2 all the time. A few places, Queen e2. It wasn't sound. It doesn't. I have to admit though, I'm on the lookout for exchange sacks when there's weaknesses. It's sort of, you want to sort of it's like underlining weaknesses. Sometimes it is interesting, and sometimes it's not. To use an exchange sack with a sort of underlining metaphor, you're trying to underline a certain weaknesses, but it wasn't working. It was just okay. Queen e2, key move. I think I'm pursuing some interesting stuff which isn't necessarily sound. Yeah, it's which is okay, I think, in Blitz. I mean, who cares? So let's see. So e5 or Queen g3 or f5 or Bishop e3. f5. I do give up that e5 square. I get something in return. The f4 square, in fact. So that gives me Queen g3, but there's knight h5 there. Is there like anything else here to mention that Queen g3 doesn't work? Queen h4 assumed doesn't work because of knight d5. Nothing really, okay, at the moment is going on. Given that pesky knight h5, I can't really do anything. Okay, so bishop going back to e3, and then for the moment. Queen e2, the knight goes to f6. There is another thing I've just noticed about this position. This semi-open file means rook c1 threatens knight b5 or knight d5. The other thing I've just noticed is, forget queen g3. What about just queen e2? Go back on the light squares. And maybe something like queen f3, g4, g5. So there's a couple of things about this position. This idea of g4, g5, if the queen's on the light square, or this idea of rook c1, is just a short-term tactical thing, though. If, say, the queen goes back over there, what am I doing with that? Mind you, why is that a7 pawn hanging? Can I not just take that? There's c5 locking in the bishop. It's not the end of the story there, though, because of knight takes b5, and there's no queen a5 there. I wonder, that's exceptionally greedy type move. There's also queen a5 in this position, though. Given the queen's on e1, this might be that sort of position where this is actually strangely effective. Bishop a7, it's not really the sort of thing I usually like doing. I'm going to test it. I'm going to test it anyway. I'm going to test it. Forget any kingside attack. I'm just going to take a poor innocent a-pawn instead. As Magnus Carlsen sometimes does, I've noticed. The innocent a-pawn. Okay, hang on. c5, knight b5, queen c6, queen a5. c4, trying to break down the diagonal. No, on any queen c6, yeah, no, queen a5. There's no knight a5, queen b5. So c5, knight b5, queen c6. c5. Okay, it's irrelevant now anyway. I'm just going to go back here to protect h2. I imagine there's going to be knight g4 and d5 at some point to hit h2. Alright, so queen h4 now. It's just asking the bishop, does it actually want to go back to e7? I might go on the light square on bishop e7. Is there also rook f3, a rook left? Rook f3, g3, threatens queen f6. Alright, let's hold this center for a moment. If I just, I don't know, rook c1 or knight d2. Maybe this knight's not really great. Right, yes. Okay, rook pin though for a moment. Maybe there's also knight d4 or bishop d4. It does seem structurally the right thing to sort of do to hit my pawn chain like this. But technically, is d4 hanging? Is there bishop d4 and knight d4? Would it make any real change here? I think bishop d4 cd is annoying. So knight d4. Yeah, my pawn structure's being eroded. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. What about taking on b5 though? CD knight b5. C takes D. Okay, knight b5 here. I'm being greedy taking these pawns. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Okay. I didn't really... that was a strange emergent plan of winning an a-pawn. Poor little a-pawn. Okay. One of my favourites. Yeah. Let's open things up. That's good, yes. Opening things up. So c6, bishop a4, there's nothing seems too significant about that. King h7. Actually, you know, I'm just thinking now, this move f5, how controversial was that? f5. Can I play f5? Any c6 is weakening d6. This position with f4. Right. g5 for bishop f5. What about if I just prepare that? g5 for knight g6. What I really usually want here is to get a knight to e5. That would stop this e5 from white, which would mean this diagonal is less dangerous if I have an e5 blockade like this. I think taking and then c6 looks as though my queen might be useful for queen b6 later. Well, I don't know if that's got a bit of controversy to it, actually. Maybe just queen f6 and rook ad8 for a moment. I can see if that rook's used, there'll be knight f3 sometimes. If that rook was used. I wonder, so if I unpin and then rook d7 and then d5, and if bishop b2, d4, if bishop d6 there, rook d7, bishop e5, okay. I think c5 I'm giving up the light squares. I'm going to do something horrible, super horrible, and give up these light squares. I'll try and keep this bishop out of the game. I have an idea that maybe I can play for g4 slowly here. So rook f7, rook g8. as long as there's no bishop c5. So rook g8, bishop f8. Oh, there's always bishop d5 anyway. Okay, that's an exchange sack. Bishop d5. So queen f5 an exchange sack. Alright, I can't do that because the bishop e4, right? Oh, things are getting actually quite worse, aren't they? Are they? Yeah, that's not brilliant. No. Yeah, that's just winning, isn't it? Oh, okay. If it's been put like that, it's kind of crushing. I think that's, I've been crushed. Yeah, took too much risk. I was crushed. Well crushed. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to be crushed again probably in this game. Okay, this is fun. All right. So I'll try this kind of thing. Try a quick h4, h5. It's a 3-minute game. I've had this sort of position thankfully before. I think it's okay with e5. I've had a similar position recently to this. This looks rather tasty at the moment. D4, C3. Try and open up things. So bishop e3 and rook c1 and d5. Oh, okay. Is there bishop e6 anywhere on the horizon? Or rook g7, bishop e6? No, maybe not. King f2 looks safer, altogether safer. Or does it? Maybe it does. I hope so. Maybe there's queen h1 on queen h8. Is that? Rook h7, knight h7, queen h8, queen h1. I should really try and protect that knight. The queen. Bishop e3. Try and protect the queen. and then go back for knight g5. It's good that he hasn't immediately got a pin exploiter, otherwise that would be troublesome. So knight g5 coming up. Is that any good here, or bishop d5? Bishop d5. Oh, okay. So, I still think this is vaguely. It's interesting. Knight f7 to d6. Can my king go to g5? I don't know this bishop, but maybe this diagonal is... Why don't I just take that guy? Why don't I just take that? Right, taking on b5 versus keeping the knights. I think I'll keep them... the knights. I think bishop f2 to h4, and I'm hitting d5 again. Okay, hold this guy. Hold against g5. Okay, so... Right. Can I hold the knights like that? Oh, 32 seconds. E6. Take this guy. E7 or knight c3. E7 there. I can get this guy. Okay. Dramatic last two games. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. That was. Whew. Okay. Wait. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today. Yeah, pretty dramatic last two games. Swings around the belts. All right. Let's go back to the voucher code. There's only 2 minutes to go. I might as well mention the voucher code. Last 2 minutes. Yeah, have fun challenging everyone, including the world champion, quite often. There's 15% off voucher code Kingscrusher. Check that out. All right. Okay. Until next week. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, and I'll see you next week. Okay. Thanks so much.